Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanj. Welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network for another episode on the Contender Series, where we compared side by side, or in this specific video, side by side competitors and all things bodybuilding and fitness related. If you enjoy this style of content, consider subscribing. But let's go ahead and jump into this comparison. We have I think is a fun one. We have Hunter Labrada, and I know we've done quite a few of Hunter. This is going to be the last one for a while. Hunter from the Texas, Hunter from the Tampa, and then Hunter from the 2020 Tampa. I do believe, if I got the dates right, this should be his pro debut. So let's go ahead and jump into it, shall we? Into the front double bicep, or bicep, right? Biceps, front double bicep. Sometimes I throw an S in there, or a T. Sometimes I throw a T in there. Bicep. Anywho, really impressive how much muscle Hunter's been able to put on in the legs in the last 3 years. I know the left and the right are pretty much identical, and that's for a very specific reason. It's only about 2 weeks apart, so they're going to be somewhat similar. But I do want you to keep in mind, looking at the midsection, think about how the midsection might have changed from the Tampa to the Texas. There was a lot of critiques to Hunter about his midsection being a little bit distended. So keep your eyes there as we move through these shots. But looking at his pro debut, it was a nice package he brought there. Downsized, yes. The midsection was, although quite controlled. The abs were pretty clearly defined. And we're going to see from the back especially, he's been putting on a lot of muscle. But I don't want to get ahead of myself too fast. From the front lat spread, he did he put some creative liberties in his pro debut for his front lat spread, and this is from the posing routine, so the individual posing routine. So it is going to be a little different. You're going to have some variety. You can definitely see more of that pec tear closer to when it actually happened around his pro debut. Actually, before he won his pro card, the pec very clearly separated and torn there, and even the bicep as well next to the pec. Torn. You can see that pretty clearly as well. So I'm happy to see that over the years, it's kind of, I don't know if it's healed or he's just been able to pose around it. It actually looks very similar the way he poses it or the way he presents it. But the additional muscle, I think, has definitely helped out quite a bit. And I think him holding the vacuum shot does pull away from the torn pec, and it does allow us to look a little bit more at the rest of the physique and give it a fair judgment. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't judge the guy only on a torn pec, but in my opinion, bodybuilding is the front double bicep, or at least if you want to be a little bit more liberal on it, as some of you I'm sure are, you can be more looking at it from bodybuilding is all about the front shot. Now, historically, as we move into the side chest, historically bodybuilding shows are won from the back, and I know Bob Ciccarello, or Ciccarello, apologies, of course, Ciccarello, still does say that bodybuilding is from the back, shows are won from the back. I would pretty much disagree with that. I feel like a lot of bodybuilding has to do with the pose downs, the front double, the most muscular, the exciting shots, as well as the face of the bodybuilder, who that person is, the politics that come with it. And yes, politics are alive and well in the world of bodybuilding. Politics will always be present when money is present. So if you think there isn't, you are fooling yourself, my good friend. Now, the side chest, this is actually one of those shots where I actually prefer Hunter before. Look at the separation and thickness in the legs from the side shot, and look at the way he's posing his chest. Now, to be fair, this is the non-torn pec chest. He did not pose the other one, so we can't really judge that one. You know, it's not fair. It's not even possible. It's not there for us to judge, ladies and gentlemen. But I really do like his 2020 package. When you look at the thickness and separation in the legs, I really, really like it. I think it looks bigger. I think his legs look better. The glutes have definitely come up, looking at the glute thickness and the glute drop from 2020 to 2023, those two shows, the Texas and the Tampa. The legs do look grown. They look bigger. I'm not going to argue that. The midsection, not really a strong suit, not really a factor, to be honest. In these side shots, you don't really see them. You don't really see the midsection too well. Now we get into the back shots. Now this is where you can see a lot of thickness and density has been added to Hunter. I'd say the glutes are also harder. The hamstrings look a little thicker, a little bit more dense. And the calves as well. I think the calves even made a little bit of improvements, or quite a bit of an improvement, if you look at that right spiked calf. Definitely a lot more detail, thickness, density. In the upper body department, really a lot of just quality muscle. He's grown all over. He's grown bigger. He's thicker. He's wider. And that really does give him a leg up in the competition. Now, where we're going to see him in this Olympia, I really don't know. I'm definitely not a person that says he's going to be in the top 10. I think there's so many other impressive, super impressive bodybuilders that are going to come into this show, and they just have a better physique. They have less weaknesses. They have more freaky parts. Hunter doesn't have any freaky body parts. He's very balanced. He brings a very nice balanced look to that top 10. But I don't think that that's what bodybuilding is looking for in 2023. And we will go in depth if the judges do end up putting him in the top 10 this year. We will be breaking down the footage. We'll be breaking down the side-by-sides. I mean, we're going to be going in depth if the Hunterisms, the Labrada-isms, the checkbooking, the Lee Labrada checkbook continues to be a factor at the Olympia. Now, from the back lat spread, holy cow, did he make some improvements. He's still got a lot of skin folding in that lower back. I don't know if he just loses a lot of thickness when he spreads the lats open, when he really drives the elbows forward. I don't know if he's losing a lot of thickness in that lower back, so he doesn't actually do that. Whereas you look at the 2020, he's rolling forward more traditionally. And you can see a little bit less skin folds there, but definitely more skin folds coming into 2023. Also, it looks like he lost some conditioning in the glutes. Now, he did gain some size, but that could also be from posing. You can see he's doing more of like a Derek Lunsford in the Tampa and the Texas, taking a much wider stance. So maybe that's just making the glutes look bigger, but maybe they're not actually as big as they do seem. They do seem quite bigger, like they have improved. Now, from the side tricep, this is where, I said in the side chest, I thought that his legs actually looked better in 2022, and in 2020, apologies. Now, the side tricep, I would say that Hunter looks better in the newer photos, in the 2023 Texas and Tampa. Now, which one? I'm not sure. The midsection is really not good, and that is a huge mark down for me. Whereas in 2020, he's got shredded, perfect abs. And these recent years, he's got a huge dent in that upper left ab. He's got some funny stuff going on in that oblique section. I would just like to see that fixed. And if that's something he can't fix, then okay. But you can't come into the Olympia, have a big dent in your abs, a missing pec, and a torn bicep, and place fourth in the Olympia. It's just not, it doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. I'll never let it go. I'll never forget. We will be covering bodybuilding for the next 30 years. And I will be here, and I will be covering it, and I'll be talking about Hunter Labrada. So do not think that I will be forgetting. Now, moving into I believe it's the ab and thigh. The ab and one thigh. Thank goodness he changed this up from 2020. I do not like the way he hits that at all. It's a very weird way of hitting the ab and thigh. I feel like he's hitting it that way because he's trying to hide certain things. I don't know what he's hiding in a pro debut. You should be showing it off. You should be showing everything off. coming into the Texas. And the Tampa, he mixes it up. Tampa, perfect. He's hitting the ab and thigh like you're supposed to, like how you should be judged. I don't think the judges should be giving you points for doing the showing one half of your body, trying to hide the rest of it, trying to hide the bloated midsection. I don't like it. I don't like it. Hit it traditionally. Hit it the way it's supposed to be done. Hit it like he did at the Tampa where he won, and then he comes into Texas and he loses because he's not doing the shots the way they're supposed to be done. Texas, by far, a little bit more conditioning in the legs, but maybe that's just the way, the angle we're looking at it. But overall, the Tampa in 2023, definitely the best package. Although, again, you see that big dent in the middle of those abs. I'm not sure what happened there or what's going on, but it definitely looks like it is getting bigger. From 2020, you can see just a small little dent there. And now you can see almost a quarter of the ab missing, and there's quite a big gap there. So not sure if that's a tear or what. I mean, good Lord, this dude is just tearing all over the place. And last but certainly not least, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching all the way till the end. If you enjoy this style of content, please consider subscribing to BNN. And I'll see you at the Olympia as well if you guys are going. The most muscular, we're doing the one hands on hip, one hand clasped, as some would say. This is probably, in my opinion, his best shot when he does the hands, both hands clasped or the hands together. Traditional crab, that's where that torn pec really shows, and I think it pulls away from the physique. So kudos for Hunter, kudos for Ben and his team on picking the shots that best complement Hunter. And I know you might be thinking, well, you just critiqued him for doing the ab shot wrong, but then you're gonna give him praise for him doing the most muscular shot in a different way. That's because what he's doing right now isn't wrong. This is a very valid way of hitting the shot, and I think it looks great. And maybe it's the lighting, maybe it's the tan, maybe it's Maybelline, I'm not sure. But my eye keeps going to Texas. It's almost as if the Texas is a better shot for him. A little bit more separation in that bicep, the hand holding the hip. You go up there into the brachialis, baby, please. Little Louis Marco reference. And there's a little bit more separation there. Vascularity is pretty nice. The delts look very similar. Chest as well is very similar. The midsection does look like it's pushing out a little bit on those obliques. That nice rounded arch to those abs. It does look like it's pushing out just a little bit. So I could see where some distension might have been happening, at least during the transitions. We're not going to be getting nitpicky and taking screenshots of transitions. I think that's a really scummy thing to do. Not to say that it's not a valid thing to do. I mean, if other YouTubers want to do that, they can do that. Hey, make your money. I'm not going to take bread off your table. And last but certainly not least, the calves, I think, are definitely an improvement from 2020 to 2023. Overall, ladies and gentlemen, a very impressive transformation and improvement through the 3 seasons for Hunter Labrada. I can't knock the guy for making the improvements. I am skeptical about this midsection, though. He used to have decent looking abs, maybe not in the most muscular, but he used to have decent looking abs, and it's definitely getting away from him. So we will see in the near future, what is in store for Hunter Labrada. Of course, like I said, if you enjoy the style of content, please consider subscribing. We do post daily, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, unless there's something crazy going on. Like yesterday, I had a monster migraine, and I had to sit in my car because I couldn't drive, and I was in the middle of a leg session. So that ruined my day, and I went to bed early. So I do apologize for yesterday's gap in coverage, but we will continue to cover this as well as the Masters coming up this weekend. So stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode here on the Bodybuilding News Network of the Contender Series, or better or worse, some people might say. I'm your host, Josh Sanch, as always. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.